spray my garden again, you know. But, I mean, I got animals to eat out here, too, you know. I mean, my goat, they free range, my chickens free range, you know. Now I got piggies, and, you know, I'm not going to have my animals poisoned. I mean, they're our food. They're what me and my
not only that, your kids play out in the yard and everything else. I mean, one of the biggest toxic contributors to the health is these lawn care sprayers. They spray chemicals all over the cities, all over towns, in their lawn, and the kids and the dogs and the cats. They play in it, and then they go in the house, track in the chemical residue into the house, and then they wonder why, you know, your kids got breathing problems and your dog's got problems with its feet, and, you know, all these different issues, and it's all because of these chemicals all over the place.
Exactly. Let's see. It looks like the EPA. I just got a message here. It looks like the EPA manager just resigned.
Go figure, huh? The banking industry, a lot of these corporate officers are jumping ship.
Yeah, they are. I haven't read it yet, but somebody just sent that to me via Skype with a link. It's on the WND.com website, 2012/04/manager-who-called-crucify-quit is the website. It's like, wow.
Well, it's about time that people start to speak up against these corporations posing as government agents. I've done my due diligence in the past to speak up when I had a farm and when I had a clinic back in Minnesota. It doesn't take very loud a voice to get your point across, to get people to know that they need to do something different in the government. I've done my share of not protesting, but actually lobbying. We had the state held a Senate meeting in our county on pesticide drift issues, because we caught the pesticide applicators drifting up to 3 miles with their pesticide spray, which is highly illegal because they're only supposed to be on target applications, and this is that's nationwide now. And you just need to, you can do the guy running up and down the street spraying on your private property. You can file complaints. You can file criminal complaints in federal court against these people and take them to task individually. Right, exactly. We do not have to tolerate this victimization coming from this corporate entities posing as governments. Exactly. I mean, it's no different than a Walmart employee coming to your place and spraying your place without permission. It's no different than a damn government paying or the city paying their employees to spray. You do not have to tolerate that stuff if you don't want to. And personally, I don't want that to happen. I don't want those toxins on my place.
Oh, exactly.
People would learn. People would really alter their belief that they don't have to be victimized by these people, these companies that are posing, as cities or counties or whatever. It just burns me that, people aren't standing up louder. I mean, I got friends in the Netherlands, in Ireland, in Ukraine. They are pushing their government back to their place. Their federal governments in those other countries are disappearing because the people are being tired. They're getting very tired of the corporate intrusion into their lives. And if we would start doing that to this country, we could put Monsanto out of business in a couple of months. In a couple of months.
Yep, exactly.
they're doing it in other countries where Monsanto and these other Bayer and Ciba-Geigen and even the pharmaceutical companies are being run out of the countries in Europe and in Asia. And we here in this country, oh, we can't say anything against them, blah, 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 blah. Bull crap.
Right, exactly.
I mean, you have a huge following here, and I know your archive shows get listened to. If people would just band together, there's groups out there like Organic Consumers Association. Okay,
exactly.
I've met Ronnie before. He's the founder of that company or that association. That's millions of people banding together to get something done. All you got to do is join. You don't have to start anything. There's already enough movements out there that just need active participants to make it even more stronger and to be more effective in pushing back this corporation. So I mean, you have a medical doctor, Dr. Rima, in her association that's working with the Codex and different laws in this country. You know, it's about time to get off our duffs, like Drake's been saying on some of your other shows, and Anita's been saying, and I've been saying, and you've been saying, and you know, all these other people. It's just, it requires action. It's time to get off the dang sofa. And who cares about the football game and all the other crap and the baseball, you know, all that crap, and start really, what are you going to do for your grandkids?
Exactly. I mean, that's why I'm doing this, and this is why I'm pushing so hard, you know, and even filling up on more and more shows, because, you know, I'm sorry, Will, I mean, it's kind of like this. I have these two little angels. Yes, they have horns, but
okay, all.
you know, they live with me, and I look at them every day, and they are my inspiration, my reason for continuing to try and get people off their backsides and joining in their community, getting to know their neighbors, working together. Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you. There are so many things when I moved out here to the country I had no idea about. But getting to talk to my neighbor that lives just a little bit from me, he has taught me so much. And, you know, I mean, we do things, you know, he helped me build my chicken coop. I mean, for Mother's Day, my kids decided to get me baby chicks. This was like 2 years ago. I had no idea what the heck I was doing. He says, come on, I'll help you out. We gathered up whatever scrap, anything we could find, and we built a chicken coop together. Now I know how to build a chicken coop, so when I have to expand it, he gets free eggs. You know, right. I mean, work together, people. Come on. I've got these two babies here that they remind me every single day why I am doing this. I want my babies, my grandbabies, to have a future. I want them to live in a safe and healthy environment and to be able to grow up and to be free-thinking individuals. It's time, guys. We need to all get up and work together.
Yeah, there was a survey that went. There was a survey that went.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm on my soapbox now because it just makes me so mad.
Well, there was a survey that went around last year, I think it was. They wanted to know if you had a choice between food that had labels with GMO or non-GMO on it, would you buy the labels that said non-GMO, or you don't even care, you just buy whatever? Over 80% of the population said if the food was labeled non-GMO or GMO, they would definitely buy the non-GMO food over the GMO food. 80% of the population that 80% that were polled would not choose the GMO food. Okay, that was a huge study. Okay, we still don't have that in place in this country. Do you know why? Because there's no unified front of people pushing for this. Because those in government want us to eat GMO food, so the population, for one, is dumb, sick, unhealthy, and hopefully will, not be in existence, evidently. Why else would you have such toxic garbage?
Exactly.
So if we would just band together, I mean, I'm one voice. Deatra's two. There's two of us here. Dave,
Exactly.
three. Okay, it doesn't.
I'm glad you didn't forget about me.
You're there, baby. You're there, honey. We didn't forget you.
So this is where we need to get with our neighbors, and there's already groups that are already set up. All we got to do is start making, show up at your city council meeting, show up at your state house meeting. That's all it takes. It's called responsibility. If you really look up what sovereign means, this country was built on this kind of thinking. I've sat in township meetings where there was only 5 of us sitting in a township meeting. You'd be horrified at what you could actually do if you wanted to push your agenda in a meeting in a city or a town or a county meeting, because nobody goes to them.
Exactly. Yep.
I go and I get thrown out.
I don't get thrown out no more. I don't get thrown out.
I've been asked to leave, but
Well, I haven't done that because what I started doing when I started going to my city council, well, we don't really have a city. Where I live, we're not even a town. We're just a community. So we have a community meeting once a month, and I go to those, and I've gotten to know the people in my community, and that's how we are able to change and exchange and learn and grow, and all of us can survive out here. There is not a one of us that is homeless or in need of food or that kind of thing, because we do band together as much as we are humanly possibly able to do. I mean, now, yeah, you still have bureaucratic garbage that goes on, but I'm facing a situation here right now that's bureaucratic nonsense, corporate de facto garbage, and my neighbors are all in full support of me. None of us are rich, and none of us are starving either. And that's because we work together. We are the change that we want to see.
Right.
Never mind. I'm going to let you run, Dr. Will, because I'm just
let
so
me interrupt
angry at
for a
all
moment.
of these. Go ahead.
There was a very important question asked in my chat room. Where do you buy plantains?
You don't have to buy plantain. It is literally in every driveway in the world. Yes, Dr. Will, you and I did that.
Well, you had the problem. You tell the story. It's much better from your perspective.
I did. I was having a problem with a cancer sore before I had the first one removed out of my leg, and I was frustrated and it hurt. I mean, I couldn't even lay in bed because just the sheet touching it or wearing a skirt and having the skirt brush across it was excruciating. And I called Will, just in tears. And he says, well, have you tried plantain? I said, huh? What's that? He says, well, it's a natural pain reliever, and it helps heal infections. I said, right. I said, Dr. Will, you know my financial situation. I can't afford this stuff. He says, you can go right outside and get it. And I'm like, sitting there thinking, how the heck, he doesn't know what I've got in my yard. He's never been to my house. So Dr. Will tells me about plantain and how it's in every driveway in America. So I get on the internet and I start looking up plantain weed. Okay. And I'm looking at all these pictures and I'm going, oh my God, it's everywhere in my yard. So just go online, look at the weeds that are growing in the cracks of your driveway. But, odds are they're plantain. But for me, they grow in big patches, just sporadically, and they're fairly large, leafy weeds. All you do is make